Hi, this is Crystal from the Rain Dance Ranch. So, I've been planting a lot of transplants, and it's October in the desert, and this is the time to get anything you want planted, just about. But anyways, I just recently acquired some of this Mycorrhizal product called Mycos by Extreme Gardening, and it is a fungus called Rhizophagus intraradices, and this is a container that is 1 pound, which was the smaller container that was available at one of my local grow shops. And I like to buy things at grow shops because I like to support small businesses. And while I do shop at Home Depot, and I do occasionally buy things through Amazon, I do look for sellers who are smaller sellers, so on Amazon and eBay, and people who have YouTube channels and they have their own website. I do look for that online. I am about helping small businesses, considering that I don't know how many, but a lot, in the tens of thousands, I believe, small businesses have been decimated. And due to government tyranny. So, yeah, that's what I do. And so you might be able to get it cheaper through larger big box stores online, so to speak. However, I just want to let you know how much this one cost at my store, $22 for 1 pound. And next time I buy some, I'm pretty sure I'm going to be getting the larger quantity. Now, like I said, I just started using this, so I don't have any real results. However, the few plants that I have used this on out front seem to be doing really great. So, happy about that. And what you do is you take this is like little granules. And let's see if it shows in the camera. Little dried up granules. And you just sprinkle some around in your planting hole. And you want it to be touching the roots. The area where the roots, usually when you have like a plug or something from a nursery already in a pot, there's roots that you can see, and so you want to make sure to have this as close as possible to the roots, which is why I'm making a biochar product that I want to sell. And I thought about adding this, but I'm not going to use it because I just think it's better to use it that way where you're putting it in the soil hole around the roots of transplants. Now, another thing you can do for existing plants that I haven't tried yet, but my plan is to get get some big straws, like the kind that you get at 7-Eleven for the Slurpees, where they have just a wider diameter opening straw. Although, I don't see why you couldn't use it with a narrower one. It just would be easier to get it in the straw, and you can stick the straw down around the root ball of existing plants and just pour some of these little granules in there all around the plant, like maybe 5 or 6 places, 2 or 3 places, 4, whatever you want to do. And I'm going to be doing that with a lot of my plants later. But when I didn't have this, like I knew about this, but I just didn't have it with me. And I'm like, I just need to get this done. So The other thing that I would do with this, that I'm going to start doing, which I haven't done yet, and I planted like 5 or 6 things, and I had thought in my head recently, I planted 5 or 6 things, and in my head I was like, okay, I need to water this before I put the plants in, and I keep forgetting to do it. Like, you know, old habits are hard to break. Like, I just never, you know, I'm just not used to doing that. So, you don't need to soak the hole, like fill the hole with water and let it seep in kind of thing. Just spray it down a little bit to activate it. And then another thing that I'm going to be trying, or if you want to try it, I'm going to be making some compost tea, and I'm going to start dipping my plant starts into the compost tea, and then setting it in with this around it, and then I'll fill back in the hole and then water it in again from the top. So that's going to be a method that I'm going to be utilizing soon. So I'll be talking about that in future videos, and maybe doing some experiments to see, does it work better? Does it get better results? That kind of thing. And then at the time of planting, I'm also adding bat guano into the soil and some at top. And then I'm also planning to use bat guano all winter, once a month. And I may use other things in my soil when I'm preparing soil as I move forward, because I'm going to be making a lot of planting beds and containers. And but whatever I put in my soil, this is going to be like my mainstay fertilizer once a month. And then if plants seem like they need something else, then I will be using other things in addition to the bat guano. But I want to try to see how things grow with just bat guano and whatever I put in my soil. And I like these dry products too. So bat guano, the way this product is sold, it's like powdered. And let me tell you, it does not smell good. It smells fishy. I think kind of like blood meal. Yeah, I don't know if you can see that in there. It probably just looks like a dark mess. So, like I put about, maybe about that much, which is maybe a tablespoon, around the base of my plants. And I'm going to do that once a month. See if that's enough. Maybe some plants I might give a little more if they look like they need a little more nitrogen, that kind of thing. Or if they're bigger, I might use more. So I'm not using a whole heck of a lot. This stuff was $15 at my grocery shop. And it's 2 pounds of bat guano. I didn't think that was ridiculous. I imagine I'm probably going to buy about 2 more of these, and that should get me through the winter, I'm thinking. Although once I add more planters, it's hard to say, but I don't have a huge garden right now. I have some containers here, some stuff out in the front, not a whole heck of a lot. I added it to a lot of the plants out. My little plant starts out here in my nursery area, and then I've only got 6 of these bins going right now. I've got 6 more that I need to prepare, and then I'm going to be buying more. I'm planning on doing a row of 9, 9, and 9, and 6 over here. So that will be my main garden. So what else was I going to say? Okay, so what I did over here this morning, okay, I had planted right after I prepared these bins, which were not ready to go at the beginning of the fall. I just made them like around October 1st-ish, maybe the first sometime during the first 5 days of October. And I put these petunias in without mycorrhizae. This is crookneck squash. I didn't put any mycorrhizae on it. Broccoli, no mycorrhizae. Tomato, no mycorrhizae. None of this stuff had mycorrhizae, except this morning I just planted these parsleys, flat leaf parsley. This one I'm moving over here. I just decided, actually, right before I made this video, because I want to see how these grow over with more shade and more morning sun and more shade in the afternoon, whereas this one is going to get a lot of afternoon sun. My sun kind of comes in this, I don't know, some kind of angle, a little bit of an angle. So that's what I'm going to do. But those all had mycorrhiza, and I'm hoping that by putting the mycorrhizae in these, the other plants, that mycorrhizae will spread throughout the whole thing, and the other plants that didn't get mycorrhizae will benefit as the roots intermingle and all of that. And the mycorrhizae creates like a web, and so I imagine it will spread, but it needs the roots in order to spread around. And I don't know what, I don't know the details, but it basically helps to create stronger roots, and it's just helps to support all of that soil life that you want, that the plants benefit from. So definitely look that up. Now over here, this is a tomato I just planted. I had it in like a 4-inch pot. I sowed the seeds early part of August in Jiffy Pods, and this sat in a Jiffy Pod for probably at least 6 weeks, and maybe 7, and then it's been in a 4-inch pot for another probably 3 weeks. And I'm like, I need to get this plant. I still have more, but I'm like, I needed to put things in here, and I'm like, I guess I'm doing another tomato, which is fine because I need all the practice I can get. So this guy's gonna get, well, he may get staked. The other tomatoes I need to stake, but this guy, I think I'm gonna try to bush him. I'm gonna keep him cropped at the top. I'm gonna look it up. I may not do it. I haven't seen a lot of people talking about it, but I kind of want to try sort of like a bushed out, kept low kind of a tomato. And the reason for that is, well, it's probably not going to happen with this plant, but I'd like to see if I can grow tomatoes that stay kind of short. So on the nights that we have freezes, I can come out and I can take those, I can put another bin on top, whether it's another, probably it doesn't have to be one of these kind of bins. It could be like one of these, something like this. And then I can cover the tomatoes on those cold nights without having to build structures and all that stuff. All of the other options, like a cloche. I can put a cloche on it. That's real hard to do when you're letting the tomatoes grow up, or vining down. I'd like to try to keep some tomatoes small, so then I can cover them, and then maybe when we're not worried about freezes so much, if they're still continuing to produce, then I can let them grow up. If they do, I don't know if you start topping them, they may not. I don't know. It's all a big experiment. So anyway, yeah, I'm super stoked about getting some plants in, and super stoked about trying out this mycorrhizae. But I do have to say, if I didn't say it already, I did a bunch in the front with Mycorrhizal, and they've been in for a week, and they're all just looking great, but they probably would have looked good anyways, because this is just a good time of year to do this kind of stuff. So I'm just real hopeful at this point. And like I said, I'm going to do an experiment. So look for that video coming soon. And oh, if I didn't mention it, I already covered the bases of all the plants with the bat guano, and I'm going to be watering that in. So yeah, super happy with how these bins are growing right now. So that's the new development for today. The basil is just super happy. Super duper happy. All right. This is Crystal from the Rain Dance Ranch. When it rains, go out and dance.